and moved. Kathy tells the story of a family who is out in the woods berry picking. In this family, they have 2 young boys, both under the age of 5. And at one point during the day, one of the little boys goes missing. Now there is a massive search, but it turns up nothing. It's one of those cases like the kid has never been there. They bring in the dogs and the dogs just sit down because there's nothing for them to pick up on. And no trace of the kid is ever found. The search goes on for about 2 months and then is eventually called off. Fast forward 6 months, the family comes back to the forest to lay flowers on a memorial site that had been constructed for the little boy. And of course, they bring their other son. And while the parents were laying those flowers on the memorial, they lose sight of that second son for about 3 seconds. And in that span of time, the second son vanishes into thin air. Now, obviously, the parents are devastated. It's hard enough to imagine losing one child, but then losing a second child is completely unimaginable. The search for the second child is huge, the largest in state history. There are like 300 volunteers combing every inch of the area looking for this little boy. But again, no trace of him. And the search goes on for about a week, with people looking miles away from the park area that he disappeared from. And then about 2 weeks later, a volunteer about 15 miles away from the initial search area radios in that she has found the little boy. Now, everyone had assumed that the little boy was dead by this time, but she radioed in that not only is he alive, but he's in really good shape. So Kathy and her team go out to recover the little boy. And when they get there, she can't believe this is the kid that's been missing. His clothes are clean. There's no dirt on him anywhere. And the kid doesn't appear to be traumatized in any way. The volunteer says that she found the kid sitting on a log, playing with a stick bundle that was tied together with an old rope. So Katie asked the little boy where he's been for the last 2 weeks. Who has he been with? And the kid tells her he's been with the fuzzy man. Now, Kathy firmly believes in Bigfoot, so she gets all excited and asks him what he means by fuzzy. Was he hairy? But the kid says no, he wasn't hairy, he was fuzzy. And the kid goes on to describe that the man was blurry, like when you close your eyes but not all the way closed. He says the fuzzy man came out of the trees and took him back into the deep woods. The kid says he slept in a hollow tree and the fuzzy man gave him berries to eat when he was hungry. So Kathy asks him if the fuzzy man was mean. Did he scare him? And the little boy says, no, he wasn't scary, but I didn't like how he didn't have eyes. Kathy says they take the kid back to headquarters, and a cop takes him into town to ask him a little bit more about his ordeal. Now, later on, Kathy would find out that the cop who talked to him said that the little boy described being kept in this tree, and that the fuzzy man would give him berries to eat when he was hungry. He was allowed to wander in a very specific clearing, but when he went outside of that clearing, the fuzzy man would get really mad and yell really loud, even though he didn't have a mouth. And when the little boy got scared at night, the fuzzy man made it go brighter and gave him the little stick bundle. He said the fuzzy man was going to keep him, but he had to let him go because he wasn't the right kind. And the little boy either can't or won't elaborate on that. The cops are kind of left scratching their heads, and the search for his brother is then renewed, but with no results. The kid has no idea where his brother might be, and they never find him.